Okay, there's one crucial flaw in this plan.
Okay. All right. What's that? What's that?
If I somehow lose visibility to the email invite,
Oh, yeah.
I can't. That part of the reason I was late because I was like, did I delete the email? So I did a search and I didn't find anything. So long story short, we're here. Hello, how are you?
Oh, not too bad. How are you doing?
Okay, I'm working without a net, just so you know.
Uh-oh. Okay, that's fine.
I don't have Audacity installed. Paul,
Oh,
ask me
okay.
why I don't
Okay.
have Audacity installed.
Did you build a new computer?
I didn't build a new computer.
Okay.
Here's the thing about Windows. Your operating system basically develops consumption over a period of time.
Okay.
And you have to declare operating system bankruptcy and just reinstall.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did today.
Okay.
But I want to take this opportunity to present a case study in why Windows and PC hardware is garbage.
I would love to hear this. I'm ready for this. Let me get my popcorn. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. All right.
As has been mentioned on this show many times, Drew's Computer Corner is a recurring theme.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you might notice that there really hasn't been a Drew's Computer Corner for a while.
There has not. You've been relatively content with your
current
frames per second.
Yeah. I've been very content. I've been very happy with my temperatures. My FIPS have been really good. Yeah, things have been good. And any of the new technology that has come along, I have not felt the spirit move me to the point where I have to feel that I have to upgrade those things. So I've just kind of been letting it be. And it's been good. There's nothing I can't play or nothing I can't do with this current computer. And I have allocated those funds that I would normally spend on those things elsewhere. But I do have a custom built PC. So when I woke up this morning before work started, I busted out my Windows 11 USB drive, booted into it, and I had already backed up everything that I felt that I had to preserve on my current computer, even though I use OneDrive. And I just said hasta la vista and wiped every single drive on my computer, deleted all partitions, completely started over from scratch and reinstalled Windows. Now, last time I did this, I had a problem. And the problem was my motherboard. That's the best way to say this. My motherboard has onboard Ethernet, onboard Wi-Fi. Windows does not recognize that driver out of the box. Now, last time I really had to get creative and basically hack open a command prompt during the Windows install to manually install drivers. This time I was much wiser and I just took my USB-C Mac dongle that has an Ethernet port and plugged that in, and that worked. So I was able to because here's the thing, your computer has to be online to install Windows now.
Oh yeah, I heard about that because you actually need to have log into an ID.
Yes. What will happen is during the Windows install, you will get to a page that says select a network that you want to connect to. And if you're hardwired, it just says Ethernet. Otherwise, if you're on Wi-Fi, it would give you a bunch of different Wi-Fi networks you could join, or you could manually type in your SSID. But if you don't have a network driver, you get stuck on that screen. You cannot proceed. Now, in previous versions of Windows installs, you could hit a magic combination of keys to get a command prompt. And then you could, at that point, basically bypass that step. Or because I actually prefer to log into my computer with a Windows ID, you can manually install the drivers that you're required. Like I said, this time I just essentially plugged in what was essentially a USB network controller, did that, and I was off to the races. And after I got Windows installed and logged in, I went to my motherboard website, downloaded the required drivers, and off to the races. And, at various points today, in between calls, I'd come over to my computer, I'd fiddle with it, I would install drivers, I would, just make sure that everything was set up, reinstalling 1Password and downloading Steam and reinstalling Office and just stuff that I could do in little 10 or 15-minute increments. But I was noticing that when I would go to the device manager on my computer, I had constant errors with two drivers.
Oh no.
My Bluetooth driver and then an unidentified network device.
Uh-oh.
Now,
What's
I
that?
do. Yeah. What is that? Is the correct question. So to put this in perspective, my motherboard has onboard Wi-Fi, onboard Ethernet, and onboard Bluetooth. Now, one of those things was at least working because I had unplugged the USB network adapter and plugged into the main Ethernet port, and everything was working. And to my knowledge, I didn't have Wi-Fi turned on my motherboard because I usually just straight up disable that. I have no desire to use Wi-Fi on a desktop like this. I already ran cables through my house. So normally that's disabled at the BIOS level. So I was like, okay, well, this is weird. So I went out to the motherboard website. I thought for sure that it would have picked up the Bluetooth driver, but hey, I downloaded the latest version of the Bluetooth driver, reinstalled it, and it still says like, this device is having problems. And I'm like, how much do I really want this to bother me? Because I don't use anything Bluetooth on this computer.
Do you really need this?
Do I really need to do this?
Okay.
But since I'm a completionist and I don't want things in my device manager being wrong, I started to fiddle.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up rebooting my computer and going into BIOS, and lo and behold, Bluetooth was turned on in BIOS, and so was Wi-Fi. Turn those things off. Driver warning went away.
Okay.
Problem solved, right?
Problem solved.
Nope. Problem not solved. I couldn't live with it. I was like, what the fuck? Why won't this work? Not that I ever want to use these things, but these are features of my motherboard. I want to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Okay.
So I started, basically disabling the device in Windows, manually cleaning the driver files out, like the INF files and everything, fully reinstalling the drivers, no dice. I spent the better part of my evening before and after the gym trying to figure this out. And eventually I got frustrated and I went on the internet and I started asking the questions. I was using different search combinations of my motherboard and Bluetooth and Wi-Fi.
Did you ask Chatty G?
I didn't ask Chatty G.
Okay.
But I did find the answer.
Okay.
Those drivers, Paul, will show a problem if the antenna is disconnected. Those little like shitty things, those little shitty antennas you can screw in?
Yeah,
I have never in all my years of working with computers ever screwed those things in or ever had a driver report a problem because of it. So I went into my basement because I save everything. I went into my motherboard box. I found these shitty little antennas, screwed them in. Everything started working. So I want to present this as evidence of
awesome. Okay.
Why would not having the antenna screwed in? Like, I can understand that people might forget to screw in the antenna.
Yeah.
But I'm of a mind that it would just be like, the signal strength is 0 until you do that. Like, don't make the driver report an error. On both of them, by the way, it solved the Bluetooth driver issue and it solved the Wi-Fi driver issue by doing that. Which I didn't even know Bluetooth had antenna that you could see or use.
It must. Yeah.
It must be it's radio, all part of it.
Yeah.
So I just want to present this as Exhibit A and I guess sub-Exhibit B as to why Windows is awful and we should just all use Macs.
Okay. Yeah, I mean I agree with that. Macs are good, but I mean Macs can't play all of the, the state-of-the-art video games. So,
Okay. Anyway,
I'm just saying. Hi.
My computer works again. That's all I know.
Okay. What's the first video game you're going to play on your rebuilt machine?
Oh boy. Okay. It's confession time.
Okay.
Didn't plan on talking about this, but I guess we can do it.
Okay.
Have you heard of a game called Escape from Tarkov?
No, I don't think I have.
Okay. Paul, what's the hardest video game you've ever played in your life?
I don't like hard video games.
I know you don't.
I don't know.
Would you say it's the Callisto Protocol?
I never played that.
What's
I
that
don't
game
know.
for what's the game for the PlayStation that was the Souls-like in space? Wasn't that Callisto
Oh,
Protocol?
yeah, I don't think I played that.
You had it and you tried playing it and you were like, "Meh."
Oh, that was Returnal. You're thinking about
Returnal. Yes.
Returnal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That game made me angry.
Okay.
Okay.
What if I told you there was a game that had no tutorial,
Okay.
no HUD,
Mm-hmm.
didn't tell you anything,
Mm-hmm.
dropped you in a map,
Mm-hmm.
didn't tell you anything, may or may not have clued you into the fact that you need to equip guns and other equipment to survive,
Mm-hmm.
and then just drop you into a world where if you're not careful, you just get shot and you die, and you lose everything you're carrying.
Okay.
It's just gone.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds awful. Yeah.
Are you familiar with the genre of games called extraction shooters?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
So Escape from Tarkov was one of the pioneers of
Okay.
the extraction shooter genre. And it is an extremely hardcore and extremely punishing game. The premise is you have a character and there's progression, there's levels, and there's there's crafting and there's base building and things that happen outside of the core gameplay loop. But you spawn into the game and using nothing but your wits, you have to walk around, kill or be killed, loot different things, and make it to an extraction area and survive long enough to extract. Along the way, there will be other players, there will be bots, there will be bosses, there will be other NPCs who, depending on the skill level and the weapon that they're using, you could just walk around a corner and sometimes you don't even hear the gunshot. You're just fucking dead. And like it with as the extraction shooter genre teaches us, the stuff you're carrying, you drop. Anything you looted, you drop. You don't get to keep it. Now, there are ways to get that stuff back that takes in-game currency, basically like an insurance mechanism, but then you might get it back 10 hours later. So you need other stuff as backup gear so you can keep playing. Now, this game is full of assholes, as you can imagine.
I'm reading some of the text, and man, I bet you this game attracts a certain kind of individual.
Now, I have owned this game for 6 years. And every time I have tried to play it, I have, much like you did with Returnal, thrown my hands up.
Mm-hmm.
But they did something interesting about 6 months ago. They added a PvE mode.
Oh, okay.
So all of the enemies in the game aren't shithead players that just camp you when you're trying to leave. Instead, all of the other people in the game, now you can play this with other humans like that are on your, quote unquote team, but everything else are bots, and it's the same game. And
okay.
That to me is exactly the game I want to play.
Right,
it's still very punishing. The bots are, depending on who you're fighting, very difficult. The bosses are still very hard, but it has the same loot mechanics, the same gunplay mechanics. And for a firearms enthusiast like me, there is extremely deep and detailed gun customization. There are missions that you can undertake. There's the whole crafting aspect. So I have been playing that game with a couple of my other friends that I've introduced this to. And friend of the show, Jeremiah, has basically described it as GURPS.
reference acknowledged. Okay.
Yes. because there are so many numbers driven systems behind this, because one of the core themes of the game is armor and armor class. And the fact that armor does not cover all of you. So if you're fighting an enemy and they have armor, don't aim at that.
Yeah.
Unless you have ammo that can easily defeat it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's scratching a very, very particular part of my brain, but it's a very difficult game. So that's where my gaming time has been spent recently. And it's actually pretty fun to play the PvE mode.
Okay. All right.
So, all right, let's talk about other stuff.
Yeah. I just want to say real quick. This is real quick. The recordings from Libsyn Connect, the thing we're using now, totally worked. They sounded perfectly adequate. Everything was fine. It worked. It worked. It did the thing it said it was going to do on the tin. So, yay.
Hey, by the way, I got to tell you, your editing skills are superb.
I hardly do any edits.
No. Listen to me. Credit to you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't always listen back to the podcast, but I was in my truck driving to the airport the other day, and I was listening to a podcast that ended with a 10 minutes left to the airport. So the next podcast in the queue came up, and which was ours.
Woo!
Because I subscribed because I want to get those numbers up.
Yeah, I got to get the numbers up.
And I couldn't help but notice the show art of the opening clip.
Yeah.
Very, very well done. I love little Easter eggs like that, by the way.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll grab something. If I think about it, I just throw it in the folder where I keep all the files. I'm like, yeah, that's going to be show art. So yeah,
that was good.
And for those, it was a special artwork just for the first chapter. So there you go.
Yeah, and then it was back to our regular schedule of thumbnails.
Yep.
So that was good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this has been interesting. I mean, I just don't have Audacity installed right now, but because I just didn't have time before the podcast. But
it should, in theory, it should be fine. It worked perfectly great last time. So
yeah, I mean, how many chunks have I uploaded? Yeah, I've uploaded 197 chunks.
All the chunks. Chunks.
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes you gotta let go and let God,
Yeah. Oh.
All right.
So airport, huh? I'm teeing you up there. See, that's what professional podcasters do.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to travel. And it was one of those super quick turnaround trips. Flew in to the city early, go to a meeting, go to dinner, go to hotel, sleep, get up early, fly home. I don't even think I was away for more than 26 hours.
Oh, that's quite the turnaround. Yeah,
and I had to go to a city that I just despise.
Where'd you go?
I had to go to Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
I visited a lot of cities. I can't say that I like all cities equally, but I don't hate a city per se.
Okay.
But I straight up hate Philadelphia.
Okay. Why is that? Well, I mean, you were raised in the Pittsburgh area, and
I was raised in the Pittsburgh area.
That Pittsburgh and Philadelphia hate each other.
That's a big part of it. Before I get to the meat of my problems with the greater Philadelphia area, I don't like any Philadelphia sports teams. I think their fans are also super obnoxious. Growing up, as primarily a hockey fan, because the Steelers were not super great when I was younger. The Pirates exist.
They're also a baseball team.
Yeah. My dad and I used to listen to hockey games on the radio because we didn't have cable. And I grew up right when Mario Lemieux got drafted. It was a great time to be a Penguins fan. And then, all their runs once they got Yager and just all those great old Penguin players. But yeah, watching, Philadelphia sports teams and fans have really bad reputations, throwing batteries at Santa Claus. There's lots of stories. I'm not going to recount them all here. You can just easily go figure that out. No, but my biggest beef with Philadelphia is the city just doesn't smell very good.
Oh, that's the worst.
It smells like hot dogs, and now it smells like weed and hot dogs because
well, slightly better, I guess.
Yeah. Weed and hot dogs. Okay, so here's my big beef. As I mentioned before, and I talked a little bit about this about my big feelings last week, is that I went to the University of Pittsburgh. I grew up in Pittsburgh. Pitt was the only school I applied to. I had no backup. It was that's where I want to go. If I don't get in, then I guess I'll just join the Army. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done. I would have figured it out, but I don't know what I would have done. So got into Pitt, went to Pitt, and there were a lot of kids from all over the state of Pennsylvania that came there. But the kids that were the most obnoxious and vocal about it were kids from Philadelphia, because I think a lot of them really wanted to go to Penn State. They didn't get into Penn State, but they got into Pitt.
So that was their backup school.
It was our
Got it.
backup
Okay.
school. So a little bit of a chip on your shoulder there. Hey, I get it. You did things didn't work out the way you wanted. Your friends went to Penn State. You couldn't get in, so you came to Pitt. I would argue Pitt's the better school, but hey, I might be a little bit biased. But what really struck me as odd is all these kids came to Pittsburgh to go to school and then complained about how much of a shithole Pittsburgh was. And I was like, have you really spent time in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
I
guess when you're born there, you're just used to it, I guess.
It's not a good town.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's so many just little things now. Like as an adult, it maybe doesn't bother me as much. But we used to go out to Philadelphia as, you know, when I was younger, because I remember we went there. I have two, again, core memories of going to Philadelphia as a very, very young kid. The first one was the first IKEA that ever opened in Pennsylvania was in Philly.
Okay.
And we all went out there to see it.
That's quite a drive, isn't it? Like Pittsburgh is not, Pennsylvania is not a small state. That's like opposite ends of the state.
I want to say it's like a 4.5, 5 hour drive.
Yeah, that's too long. That's too long.
Let me check real quick. Directions: Pittsburgh to Philadelphia, PA. It's just under a 5 hour drive.
Yeah, that's about 4 hours too long. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's not bad. Like you can get on the PA turn. Well, actually, not even the PA turnpike. It's literally 76 the whole way. So
okay.
Not bad. Anyway, so we did that, and then my dad's father's brother got married, and they had their wedding in a mansion that they like rented somewhere in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And side note, this mansion was large. The reception was kind of downstairs, and then they had an upstairs that you could go up to. And I didn't know it at the time, but I think I was in a liminal space.
Okay.
Because I remember that, you know, they had like the cocktail reception and dinner was like in this downstairs area that was like a big dining room, and then like a study, and then they had like a patio where they had like a bar set up. Again, I'm sort of like remembering this through flashbacks. But I remember like a lot of the kids would go upstairs because they had like these bedrooms that were carpeted, and we were all kind of just running around, flopping around. You know, like kids play, right? You just kind of run around and throw yourselves places. But I remember that at one point I kind of like wandered through this bathroom, and then I wound up in a whole different wing of the house, and I couldn't figure out how to get back.
Oh,
and then I found this stairway that went down to a door that was lit up, and then I opened it, and then all of a sudden I was like in this huge laundry room, and then I just kept walking, and somehow I retraced my steps back. I swear to God, I didn't realize there was a term for it back then, but I just remember getting lost in this big house that just seemed to go on forever. It was literally House of Leaves before I knew House of Leaves was a book. Anyway, yeah, so those were like my two core memories of going out there. And even now as an adult, the Philadelphia airport, not great. Not great. I think it's easily recognized as one of the worst airports. Just getting around that city is difficult because of all the different little one-way tiny streets. I will say that the hotel we stayed at this time was a particular like Hilton property type that I'd never stayed at before. So that was kind of a bright spot of the trip. But man, the rest of that city is just so weird, and I'm not trying to downplay the historical significance that Philadelphia has to this country. But I don't want to walk through this, you know, these old state buildings to somebody playing house music in a DJ booth. I don't understand. I'm not going to pretend to understand. Maybe it's one of those I'm old, get off my lawn type scenarios. But
I have a DJ story to share.
Okay.
When you're done, I'm going to put it in next.
I mean, that's it. I mean, I just don't like Philadelphia. I mean, that's really all that needs to be said.
Okay. So I went to a concert on Saturday.
Ooh, where'd you go? Which one?
The King of Clubs. It's not important. It's not important.
Okay.
It's not important. So one of the opening acts was this artist called Swarm. I had never heard of Swarm. In fact, I had never heard of either of the opening acts, right? So I'm at a metal show. So I expect some time. It's any concert. There's time in between each act for them to get everything set up and everything. And so usually, they have to take out drums and they bring in amps and stuff. And I see that there's just a looks like a table in the center of the stage. I'm like, that's weird. Wonder what that's all about. It was a I'm gonna say it was a heavy metal DJ.
Okay. They just were spinning records of other heavy metal artists.
Yeah, so there was okay, so there were some original songs that he had, and then there were also remixes of metal songs, mostly new metal songs, and it was bizarre, and I don't know how I feel about it. In fact, I think the whole experience can be summed up when I went to King of Clubs to take a piss, because as one does. And someone at the urinal said, I don't know whether to dance or to mosh. And I think that sums up the whole performance exactly perfectly well.
Wow.
It was a very good example of what he was doing. It's not my cup of tea, but it was a very good example of heavy metal DJ, which is a thing I didn't know existed. So
that is something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it sure was something.
So, what was he playing? Anything you recognized?
I mean, like the remixes I recognized. There was he did a Slipknot song, and he did some White Zombie songs, and I think there was like a Korn song and stuff. Oh, and literally, this is a thing that happened. While he was dancing along the stage, he unplugged, accidentally tripped over the power cord.
Oh, poor guy.
Everything. He handled it really well. He was just like, I just unplugged everything. His mic still worked, but all the lights and stuff turned off. And he's like, you're just gonna have to give me a minute. And at first you're thinking is this just a gimmick or stuff?
Is this part of it?
Yeah, but no, because he had to vamp for a good 5 minutes to get all of his equipment turned up and get everything back to where he needed to be. And
did the crowd get rowdy?
No, were they mad at him when he stopped? No, everyone was fine. But there was a very aggressive pit at this show. So yeah, very very aggressive pit. Yep.
Did you get in it?
Mm-mm. No, I'm too old. I'm too old for that shit. No, I do not. I do not mosh anymore. I'm mosh pit adjacent. Remember, I will be beside the mosh pit, but I don't
that's right.
participate. Yeah, Did
they do the wall of death?
Yes, there was a wall of death. Yes.
Okay, that's the one that I if I was ever gonna go, if I didn't see that, I'd be disappointed.
Yeah, there's not always a wall of death, but there was at this show for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, so man, I'm intrigued by this. So did he did he do the DJ thing where he remixed the songs and crossfaded and all this other stuff?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, 100%. I wonder if there's
did it make it worse?
It was fine.
Okay.
It was fine.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. But it was a very good example of that thing. I guess he's got a YouTube channel. Yep, this is definitely the guy. So I will put a link to his YouTube channel in here if I can find it. If I can find the notes, there we go. There's his YouTube channel. It was a very good example of that kind of thing. And he had visuals playing behind and stuff, and it was
Wow. I want to see this YouTube video. Okay, I want to look at this guy because I have a picture in my head of what this guy looks like.
I mean, spoiler alert: he's a white dude in a black T-shirt. So there you go.
Some original music.
Yeah. He does. Yeah, it was a mix of original songs and like remixes, at least for the
Ah,
live performance. So yeah.
Swarm, House of Swarm. He's got 64K subs.
Yeah. There
Okay.
was definitely people there who knew where he was and were having a very great time. And it's nice too, because like after the show, he was working his own merch, which I respect. And it was great. He was taking time. He talked to everybody, took pictures. Like he was a pretty good chill dude.
Wow.
I just didn't know that existed. I didn't know that existed. So now I do.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. Who'd you go with?
Just a guy from work.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. How long did those shows usually go when you go?
There was done at 11 o'clock. The doors were at 6. First artist was like at 6:30. And the whole thing done was maybe like 10:30, 11.
Does your friend from work get in the pit?
No, he wanted to, but realized he is also an old man. And like I said, the pit was very lively, and the pit I would say had a higher number of assholes in it than I would like for any pit.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
People who are out there to hurt somebody.
Yeah, and there was one kid who got hurt. Like he twisted his leg up pretty good. So yeah. And there was this guy in the pit. He must have weighed 400 pounds.
I mean, it's him versus the world at that point, right?
Like, dude, man, he was in the pit most of the night. He was just wet.
Glistening.
Yeah, to say sweaty would be an understatement, man. That dude was wet.
Okay. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Podcast you can smell. All right. So,
yep.
All right. Well, that's cool, man. I hadn't got any concert updates from you in a while. I wondered if it was still a thing.
Yeah, I haven't been to a whole lot, but yeah.
You got any other ones coming up?
Oh, I just got informed that there's Rivers of Nile is coming to King of Clubs. One of the Sundays in May, like the 21st or something. So I may go to that, but May's a busy month for me, so I may not. So
yeah.
When
is Zach's graduation?
That is an excellent question. When is it actually? Hold on. Let's find that email. Class of 2025. Award ceremony parade. Not doing that. What does it say? It's Friday the 23rd. So
yeah. Friday the 23rd of May. Okay. Now I'm not saying, listen, man, I mean, obviously I'm super thrilled for you and Zach and the whole fam. We will definitely send a card. I don't know if you guys are doing anything. Don't feel obligated to invite us, but we will definitely send Zachary a card.
We're having a party. Do you want to come?
Okay.
I'll get you an invite.
All right. Cool.
You don't have to come, but
I know, but I definitely want to get Zach something.
Yeah.
I'd like to get him, a card and some cash or something else he needs. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of cash, Mandy got me a $50 Bezos Bucks card.
Bezos Bucks. Okay.
And dude, we love spending money.
We sure do.
I can't think of anything I want to buy. I thought this would be a fun exercise. Help me spend $50 or more on Amazon.
$50.
That is not the upper limit.
Okay. Right.
If something costs $150, like that's fine.
Okay.
What do I need? What's the man who has everything? What do you think I need to buy?
I don't know. I mean, so like the first thing that I started looking at was Anchor stuff.
God, you and I are so alike. So that's literally what I was looking for. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I have that battery bank, and I use it. And we're definitely going to be taking that to Europe with us. But I looked at some of the things that are on there. I have other chargers and things already.
Okay.
So I like where your head's at, but I couldn't see anything on there that I want. Maybe I'm not looking at the right stuff. I couldn't see anything on there that I wanted.
I do really enjoy, as far as the actual things that plug into the wall, I'm a big fan of. I'm putting a link in here of these boys. It is the Anker USB-C charger, Nano 65 watt, PPS 3 port, blah 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 blah. 65 watt charger. It's not the smallest charger in the world, but it's a good size, and usually they're on sale for the price they are now. It's 30 American Freedom dollars.
I have the next smallest size of that one. I literally bought this one a couple weeks ago. This is the one that I have. The Nano 2.
20 watts.
I know.
But it is super small. That's great for a
very
bag.
Small.
Yeah. That's great for like a travel bag. I should buy one of those and put it in my
it's been great. I actually bought 2. So like when I travel, I have because I'm still stuck in the Lightning ecosystem right now because of my old phone and my AirPods Max. I have one cable for Lightning plugged into that, and then I have another one dedicated to my USB-C. It's super great. Easily fits in all my bags. Can coil it up nice. It's good. So okay, I like where your head's at. Yeah. But like I said, I couldn't find anything that I felt like I needed. Okay, let me just run through a couple other items that I looked at, but again, could not get.
Okay.
New phone case.
Okay.
Didn't find anything that replaced my tactical other case.
Mm-hmm.
You hate this, but I like those plastic shells for my MacBooks.
Oh, no. And
that's what I put the stickers on.
No. Oh, okay. But no.
Okay.
But it's fine.
That's why we're workshopping it, right?
That makes me sad.
Okay.
Please just don't use like a keyboard cover.
Oh, no. Oh God, no. Are you kidding me? No. I'm not that far gone. I also looked at USB. I also looked at simulation gear for my other sicknesses. Didn't find anything that I needed.
Put a pin in that.
Okay.
Okay. Speaking of spending money,
I also looked at replacement webcams for the Opal because that's been giving me grief.
Okay.
Did not find anything that I would like to currently put on my monitor.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, there are some retro handhelds in the $50 range that you can get on Amazon.
Okay, let's talk about it. Give me some links before I get terrified. Come on, what do we got?
Yeah. Okay, so if you're looking like Game Boy style layout, and that's very trendy these days, the Miyoo Mini Plus is $60 on Amazon, and the Anbernic RG35XX is $50.
Okay, the Miyoo Mini Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Talk me through this. What would I be able to emulate on this? Looks like primarily Game Boy.
It's designed for Game Boy, right? There's no analog sticks, right? So you're pretty much talking like pre N64 era. Probably maybe some PS1 games depending on how it was set up. But yeah, it's primarily for the ultra retro, the Super NES, NES, Game Boy Advanced. Those that's what it's optimized for with that thing. Though I have not personally used a Miyoo Mini Plus, but I have heard good things about them.
Interesting.
If you don't get a case, you can even get them for $53. I mean, gee, that's a steal.
Now the RG35XX looks like a much better device.
Yeah, it's an Anbernic device, right? So it's going to have, Anbernic knows what they're doing there. But that's going to be in the same class, right? I mean, there are triggers. They're not analog triggers; they're just digital triggers. So
you can play Super Nintendo, yeah,
exactly on the back. But yeah. But if you're looking for a compact, if you wanted to play that era of gaming, maybe some Tecmo Bowl. Things like that.
What's the store page says it could emulate PS1. Do you think it has enough horsepower to do that?
Yeah, that processor does. It's just a matter. It's going to be tough because PS1 did start introducing the DualShock, and does have some games that require an analog stick. So you just be careful of those. But as far as horsepower, you could do PS1 easy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could get that for $49. I could get the gray one for $49.
Yeah, they even have a purple one. Purple. I'm just saying purple.
I don't like the clear. I don't like the clear clamshell. I like the more.
I'd go. Yeah.
Black, I could maybe do. White, no. Purple, no. I think gray is the one.
What else is on there?
That's a strong suggestion.
There you go.
That is a very strong suggestion. Okay, that's going to be hard to beat. You got anything else?
Oh, let's see what else is on. If you did want to go up a little, it's not very well reviewed on Amazon, but I know it is a very capable device. There is a it's in the same family as the other. It's the exact same chipset as the other one, the other Anbernic, but this one, it is a horizontal layout and it does add some thumbsticks there. They are the low profile thumbsticks, so in theory you could put it in your pocket. But I don't know. There is something nice about those horizontal devices for that kind of genre, that era of game. Like,
do you have the 35XX, don't you?
I don't. I have an Anbernic device. I have two of them somewhere. I do not know which ones I own. Oh, let me see if I can find it in my email. Anbernic. Oh, what was the last one I bought? Oh, that was okay. So the last one I bought was the 40XXV. Let's see if I can find an older one. 40XXV. Is that still the same one? Okay. Yep. I have the RG351MP. That's what I have. The 3, yeah. Which is like a predecessor to some of these other ones. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, yeah.
This might be it, actually.
Yeah.
This might be it. Okay. All right. See, this is why I come to you. This is why I trust you for this kind of advice, because you did good, Paul. I think this might be the answer.
I try.
All right. So it comes with game console, a USB-C charging cable, manual, gift box, and screen protector.
Yeah, I just throw that shit away.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, or put it on if you're the kind of person that puts a clamshell on their Mac. So who knows? Who knows what you do these days?
Doesn't look that bad, guy. Like, I don't like putting stickers directly on the Mac, and I'm a laptop sticker guy.
I've got stickers directly on my laptop.
I don't know how you live with yourself with that.
I could live with myself any other way. That's where they go. Stickers are for sticking.
They are sticky. Okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, that's good advice. You just gave me good advice. All right, I won't do it now because I have to like type in the gift card number and everything. But that might be the thing that I get. I could get it as early as Tuesday, May 6th.
There you go.
That's a long time to wait, though.
It is, but it's not that long.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I primarily play Super Nintendo, Genesis type stuff.
Yeah, I think that style of device is good, really good for that kind of that era of gaming.
Yeah. That might be the one. The only other thing that I was kind of looking at is I was looking at a couple of accessories for the drones, but there's nothing. Yes. There's nothing in there that I think that I absolutely have to get. So I wish I would have thought of this. It's good. It's good. All right. Thank you for that. Now let's talk about something you want to talk about.
Okay. So Forza Horizon 5 has recently, in fact, this week, launched on the PlayStation 5. Now, I had played this briefly when I had an Xbox and I had like a trial of Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
I did play Forza 5 on my Xbox. It was a great game. I really enjoyed it. I don't always get into racing games. There's something about the Forza being kind of more arcadey and less simulation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun. There's just so much shit to do. You're constantly unlocking new maps and new cars. It's like dopamine hit after dopamine hit after dopamine hit over and over again. And it's exactly what I needed right now. And I love playing it on my PlayStation 5. It's great. The graphics look really good on it. It's all PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced. It looks amazing. It runs at a like locked 60 frames a second, which I know that's console frames, but you know, it's what I'm used to.
It's fine. 60 is fine.
We're great. So but Drew, now that I'm getting into, so I know you're kind of plugged into the sim lifestyle. And do I need a racing wheel to fully enjoy my racing game? And if I do, where would I start?
All right, man. I'm of two minds for this question.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So the first one is, you're right. The Forza game, like especially Forza Horizon, is a little more arcadey. There are settings you can adjust to make it a little more sim-like. But the fact that you're going to be driving basically through fields and off-road, the controls are designed to be the controls are designed to be a little more twitchy.
Mm-hmm.
But there is one thing that a steering wheel does give you that really helps with those kind of games.
Mm-hmm.
And that's constant analog feedback.
Yeah, I really want something that has feedback on the wheel.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
That's what I want. That's what I would want.
Yeah.
I want it to go thumpa in my hand.
And like, if you're used to playing with your dual shocks, if you have like a gradual banking turn, you sort of have to take your thumb and hold it there steady to keep your racing line. It's the input of that is difficult. Whereas with a wheel, it's just like driving a car. Like you tilt it a little bit and it's much easier to hold that kind of thing. Before I send you down this rabbit hole.
Okay.
When you play these games, what camera angle do you use?
I typically use a behind the car camera, but I am not opposed to it, like in the cockpit kind of thing. It's just yeah. But
for me, my brain doesn't work right when I try to use a racing wheel with an exterior car view.
I could see that. Yeah.
My advice would be either do the thing where it puts like your camera on the hood, so like you don't have to see the inside of the car.
Okay.
But you could also try, if your TV's big enough and you have the wide enough field of view, to do the whole in-car way of looking at it. I think that definitely enhances it a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm happy. I'm happy that you're thinking about this. But racing wheels, I mean, the problem you're going to run into is there's going to be a lot of things that get suggested to you.
Yes.
That are meant for the hardcore sim racing enthusiast.
Exactly. I don't need a hardcore sim racing enthusiast level, but I say that I do want something, me, I don't want something cheap. I want something that's got good feedback, that, it's going to feel, I don't want like the cheap fucking Best Buy brand,
Correct.
Shit. Like but I don't need to go full sim cockpit, all that shit. Like, yeah.
Okay. Here's the problem though. If I told you that there was a kit you could buy that came with a steering wheel and some pedals, where would you put it?
I would need to buy something to mount these onto.
All right.
Yeah. Yes.
So you can see.
I am aware of the slippery slope that I am going down. Yes.
Okay. So basically, here's what I'm going to suggest, and I'm trying to pull it up right now. So just give me a second here.
This is what I need.
Let's see here.
I just can't wait till I buy one of these, and my wife makes so much fun of me.
Well, Yeah.
It's okay. I'm used to it. It's rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Yeah. Let me see
Mm.
here. I'm trying to find one that kind of makes the most sense for you.
Okay.
Let's see here. Driving pedals, gear shifter, gaming controller, steering wheel. There we go. So there are kits that you can buy.
Okay.
And I think one of the best sort of starter ones that you can get is Logitech makes really good stuff.
Okay.
So this is one that Micro Center has
Okay.
that
Yeah, look at
is
that.
about $330. And what
Okay,
you
yeah,
get for
yeah.
that, what you get for that is you get the steering wheel. I'm pretty sure it's got force feedback. It's got 900-degree rotation. Does it have force feedback? But
The
if you
driving
want
force simulates okay. Yep. It's in the immersive gaming experience
does it
line.
say
It's the
does it say
the driving force simulates the feeling of driving a real car with no.
no, that
Driving
might
force feedback racing wheel provides there we go. Yes.
okay.
Driving force feedback provides a detailed simulation of driving a real car with a word I don't know. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, I
Okay.
think that if you find and Logitech makes a couple different variations of this, but that would be pretty much what you need because I don't think you want to worry about clutch and shifting and everything, right?
If I did anything, I would do like paddle shifting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you don't need the third pedal.
That has pedal. This does come with the third pedal, though.
It does come with a third pedal, but I don't think
You
it comes
bet.
with the gear shift.
Oh yes, yeah.
It does have paddles, right? So
I would use
you'd be fine.
I would just use paddles. Yeah,
you'd be fine.
Yeah, 100%.
So you don't need the other one. Now, if you wanted to go a little more upscale,
okay,
I would tell you that there's a company called Moza.
Yeah,
and they make really good stuff. They make flight sim equipment too, so I'm aware of them.
Okay.
The next kind of step up would be that. Now, with that, you actually get a much better motor.
Oh, look at that. That looks fancy.
And I think you probably get a better wheel.
Yeah.
You only get 2 pedals, which
this is a PC only. So
oh, really?
Right out.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Platform PC. Not everything. Not everyone. But I wonder if they do. I wonder if they make.
They might.
Moza.
I'm looking at the PlayStation 5 options now.
PS5. Let's see what the internet says. Racing. Let's look at the bases. Now I think they might be just they do Xbox and PC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
they don't slum it to the PlayStation. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that Logitech has a couple different variations of that. I know for a fact that Logitech makes PlayStation specific controllers. So I think that that's probably the one you're going to want to get into. Now, again, the question is where are you going to put it?
Well, I do have I have room in front of my the way that my PlayStation is it is this little kind of it's called a loft, but it's not really a loft. It's a kind of little nook at the top of the stairs, and it's not huge, but it's basically got a sofa, a coffee table which can be removed, and my television. So there is about, I would say, 10 feet between the sofa and the television. So I'd either want something that I could put in front of the sofa and I can drive on, or something I could bring, like I have a, like an old computer chair in the basement I could bring up as well and put that in front of. But yeah.
Okay.
Because I need something to put. I don't have a desk, so I need to clamp it onto something.
Correct. Yes. Now they do make little stands, and I'm trying to find one here, and I'm not being successful. So just give me a moment. There's sort of like the way that at least and I'm using Micro Center as the example here, but there's many different ways to do this. Some of them even mount directly to chairs. So like if you have an office chair that has the compatibility to mount one of these things, that might be all you need.
Yes, I did see these. There's a company called Next Level Racing, and they make stands that people don't seem to hate. Why did that not bullet down correctly? There we go.
I think one of the things you really need to think about too is when you're not using it, how hard is it to put away?
Yeah, that's what like their wheel stand light and their wheel stand 2 fold.
Okay. That might be all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're essentially just little tables. And the thing that you want is stability.
Yes.
So like the wheel stand racer for the $99, I'm sure that's probably okay, but like if you're going to be playing a game where you're going to be whipping that wheel around left and right, you don't want the base to wobble. I mean, your feet are going to be on it. It's where the pedals are.
Yeah. I'd probably do if I went with this brand, I would do the wheel stand 2.0. That thing looks solid.
Yeah, and the fact that it can be folded up and put under a couch, I think there's something to be said for that. Actually, that doesn't look too bad.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Just and
it's not unreasonably expensive. Yeah, I like that because it has 4 points of contact to the floor. You could easily clamp your wheel to it. If you did want to get a gear shift, it's got a space for that.
It does.
Yeah. No, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. I want to see a picture of it folded up though. There's a YouTube video.
I think this one folds up. It looks like it does.
It does. Has to, right?
Or is it just the light that folds up?
No, it definitely does.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it folds all. I'm watching the YouTube video and the music's obnoxious, so I have to close it.
Yeah.
It looks like it folds up almost all the way. So it probably would go in a closet.
Okay.
It would probably go in a closet pretty easy. I don't know if it would go under your couch, but it looks like it could go in a closet.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to need something like that. I mean, the thing I have going for me is that a lot of the things that I have clamp directly to my desk.
Yes. Yeah. And that's not an option for, my PlayStation. So yeah.
Okay. Now, the real question is, once you started doing this and you liked it, do you think that you would try a quote unquote harder core racing game like, say, Gran Turismo?
I got Gran Turismo was on like ridiculously on sale.
I know.
Like
I saw
6 months ago. And I did buy it, and I played it for probably a good 20 hours. It's fun. It's just, maybe I would go back to that, but Forza is so bright and so loud, and it just keeps giving me shit, and I'm just like, yeah, I want more shit. Ooh, a wheel spin? Oh, a car I'll never drive? Great. I'm so excited. Yes, give me more. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the story, they're trying to bolt a story on it, and the story is shit, but, the racing's fun, so, yeah.
Those Horizon games are really fun. I got into the Horizon. I am a traditional, quote unquote, Forza player.
Okay.
So like Forza Motorsport, which is more closer to the Gran Turismo experience, which is racing on tracks, trying to shave fractions of a second off your lap time type stuff. Yeah. I know that's not for everybody. I like the more simmy aspect of that over Horizon, but Horizon is very fun.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. No, I love this idea. I'm never going to tell people not to get into the sim lifestyle. So.
Cool. All right. I got some things to check out then.
All right.
Oh, all right.
What an episode.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah, you know what to do. Doingtheirbest.com. You can find all the episodes, all the show links. You can share it with a friend. And hey, thanks for listening.